Is there a great cloud of witnesses who were faithful before us? Do their examples encourage us to run with endurance the race that's set before us? Do we meditate on what Jesus did for us? Does the Lord discipline those he loves? Have we come to the city of the living God, heavenly Jerusalem? Let's discuss this in Hebrews 12. Are the patriarchs and matriarchs of old a cloud of witnesses encouraging us to also have faith? Where should we fix our eyes? Therefore, since we have so great a cloud of witnesses surrounding us, laying aside every weight and the sin which so easily entangles us, let's run with endurance the race that's set before us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Should we meditate on what Jesus suffered, so that we too can endure and not grow weary? For consider him who's endured such hostility by sinners against himself, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. Have most of us not yet reached the point of shedding blood for our faith in Jesus? In your struggle against sin, you've not yet resisted to the point of shedding your blood. What do the Proverbs say to all of us about the chastening of the Lord? And you've forgotten the exhortation which speaks to you as to sons. My son, do not despise the chastening of the Lord, nor be discouraged when you're rebuked by him. For whom the Lord loves, he chastens, and scourges every son whom he receives. What does enduring God's discipline mean in regard to living forever? As you endure this divine discipline, remember that God's treating you as his own children. Who ever heard of a child who's never disciplined by its father? If God doesn't discipline you, as he does all of his children, it means that you're illegitimate and not really his children at all. Since we respected our earthly fathers who disciplined us, shouldn't we submit even more to the discipline of the Father of our spirits and live forever? Why did our earthly fathers discipline us? Why does God? Should we allow God to train us? For they indeed, for a few days, punished us as seemed good to them, but he for our profit, that we may be partakers of his holiness. All chastening seems for the present to be not joyous but grievous, yet afterward it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. What did the Old Testament scriptures encourage us to do in regard to God's discipline? So strengthen your drooping hands and weak knees. Make straight paths for your feet, so that if any part's lame, it'll be healed rather than injured more seriously. What kind of life should we lead? What about peace and clean living? Try to live at peace with everyone. Live a clean life. If you don't, you'll never see the Lord. Make sure no one misses out on God's wonderful kindness. Don't let anyone become bitter and cause trouble for the rest of you. What else should we see to in regard to sexual purity and holy living? That no one is sexually immoral or unholy like Esau, who sold his birthright for a single meal. You know that afterward, when he desired to inherit the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no chance to repent, though he sought it with tears. Does God reveal his power to us like he did with ancient Israel at Mount Sinai? For you've not come to what could be touched, to a blazing fire, to darkness, gloom and storm, to the blast of a trumpet and the sound of words. Those who heard it begged that not another word be spoken to them, for they could not bear what was commanded. And if even an animal touches the mountain, it must be stoned. Was even Moses terrified at the powerful signs God revealed at Mount Sinai? Indeed, the sight was so terrifying that Moses said, "I'm trembling with fear." Have we come to heavenly Mount Zion, the assembly of God's people in heaven? But you're come to Mount Zion, and unto the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to an innumerable company of angels, to the general assembly and church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, and to God the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect, and to Jesus the mediator of the new covenant, and to the blood of sprinkling that speaks better things than that of Abel. What warning should we take seriously? Should we listen to God? See to it that you don't refuse him who's speaking. For if those did not escape when they refused him who warned them on earth, much less will we escape who turn away from him who warns from heaven. Will God once more shake heaven and earth? Will a kingdom which cannot be shaken remain? And his voice shook the earth then. But now he's promised, saying, "Yet once more I'll shake not only the earth, but also heaven." This expression, "yet once more," denotes the removing of those things which can be shaken, as of created things, so that those things which cannot be shaken may remain. Therefore, since we receive a kingdom which cannot be shaken, let's show gratitude, by which we may offer to God an acceptable service with reverence and awe, for our God is a consuming fire. Will there be a new heaven and a new earth? Will the old pass away? Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. Is there a great cloud of witnesses who were faithful before us? Do their examples encourage us to run with endurance the race that's set before us? Do we meditate on what Jesus did for us? Does the Lord discipline those he loves? Have we come to the city of the living God, heavenly Jerusalem? You decide.